Hello, this is a quick guide to the Proving Grounds Grandmaster Nightfall. This Grandmaster Nightfall has Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Also it has Void Hunger, which we'll talk about in a minute, but basically make sure you got Void Resist on. We've got Arc Surge and Stasis Surge for our buffs. Now the Void Hunger means you really want to be using Void damage to charge it, and you want to have Void Resist mods on your chest piece. Solar as well because of the boss. Now I'm bringing a Consecration Titan with Glacial Quake Super, Inmost Syntho on the class item. I've got Blast Furnace for my barrier. My unstop. This is using Void to kind of charge my Void Hunger, and Deterministic Chaos for the barrier and also to charge the Void Hunger. Frozen's using a similar build to me except with some different weapons, essentially Anarchy and Patron Lost Causes for the barrier. And Limonada's bringing our Tether Hunter with Arbalist, Elsie, and Wendigo. Now the Void Hunger modifier that they added, so essentially there's a little bar on the left hand side you'll see as we spawn in that we're trying to charge up. Whenever it's in the negative you're taking increased damage, and whenever it's positive you actually get improved ability regen. Now the bar continuously goes down, so you want to try and keep charging it. And when we start here there's no champions down the bottom, so we can just kind of run up to the left and skip a whole bunch of the Vex enemies. And just take out these turrets and stuff. So you can see I've got Void Starvation. They haven't charged very much with Void damage. Now when you do fully charge, that's what gives me the ability surge for 20 seconds, and that's what's quickly recovering my abilities. So this Void GL that I'm using does charge it quite well. So yeah, you want a primary or something that's essentially going to be charging the Void for you. As you see, I came up the side here. Meant we're able to kind of like skip a whole bunch of the enemies at the start. There is another unstop that I might have skipped further back as well though. I don't know if my team got that. Okay. Yeah, there's 2 unstops and 1 barrier. And I like coming up here on the left hand side. This is my favourite spot to kind of take on the enemies. And we have an unstop that spawned with the boss. Now when we get the boss to half health, that's going to spawn the enemies beside us. Now if you want, you can get someone to go break it straight away. There was an old strat where you'd just punch him and you would never stomp. You can't do that anymore. He does stomp, so be careful. Don't just run up to him. Alright, now how to break this can be kind of hard when you're just spraying like that to actually get in. What I like to do is put the middle thing between me and him, so he will just shoot that essentially. You can also use someone to distract him. If he's attacking someone, they can like hide behind a box somewhere while someone else goes in and breaks it. There's another way to do it. And we get into the tank room. We'd like to stay at the back. You want to be very careful of the interceptors. They can annihilate your health bar. Now the first step is to take out the snipers that spawn on the left and right. And we'll try and get behind the blast shields. So as we drop down, sniper on the left, and there'll be another one on the right. Now if we're staying behind here, the interceptors shouldn't be able to get us, but you need to watch out for barriers coming down the middle. Can also shoot the interceptor through here. Make it a bit easier trying to deal with it. Now, I like to try and take out the interceptors because then we can go in and deal with the rest of the ads. Especially the two that kind of come down the left and the right. There's one at the very back. It's not as troublesome. As you can see, the interceptor on the right was already taken care of. We just got the one at the back. But before we deal with it, we want to take care of the champs. There are some Cabal under here. They don't matter that much, but want the area free because of the strategy we're going to do to take care of the tanks. Now, I like to initially just immediately kill the tanks, because what happens is once they're dead, all of the ads just go and stand at the back of the room. Makes the front of the room really safe. Otherwise, you get swarmed with enemies rushing up here. So, best strategy is to take care of the tanks. So what we're going to do is, me and Frozen are going to use our stasis supers, run forward and just try and kill the tanks straight away before we get too overwhelmed with enemies. So once the interceptor's dead, I'm going to apply some weaken. There we go. Now, if you were playing a little bit safer, you could just go to the front down there. None of the enemies would come and chase you. You can kill them from safety. Titan's OP. A quick way to deal with a tank room. You can see it's quite difficult to keep the Void Starvation up if you're not maining Void the whole way through. Luckily, with these builds, we do get enough health back from orbs. It's not proving too much of a difficulty. I can use this geo a bit more to make sure I get my Void Starvation off. A downside as well of the Void thing. So I had the Ability Surge, and as soon as the Ability Surge runs out, you start again at 0 on your starvation meter. Now you have to build it back up. If anyone's wondering why this machine gun, by the way, this is my first time using it. I'm not that impressed. But I wanted something with barrier, and the GL was proving to be quite good at building the void charge, which is nice. I'm not going too starving if I start using it. As soon as this yellow bar dies, that's when the ads behind us are going to spawn. I'm going to get ready to deal with them. Another Bane. Alright, depending on how aggressive you want to go in the boss room, I've got some safe spots we can show you. Especially against all the solar mortar attacks that the boss has. Now to start off with, when you enter the room, we're going to go to the very back where the boss comes out of. And there's a little tunnel underneath, so when he summons his solar balls at the start, you can just go into that little tunnel to hide. And if you stay in the tunnel too long, the oven turns on and you'll start cooking. But there is a spot you can stand in to not die, but if you're playing with all 3 people, generally, all 3 of you might not fit there into the nice spot, but that's why I just temporarily go in there. It'll be safe after the balls go away anyway. You see he summons the balls, they just come inside, all the balls hit the walls, now you can stay here. Now this is a safe spot, he's not going to push you, I could just stand here forever if we wanted. Now if you do a little bit of damage, ads are going to come out from above us. On both sides, just 3 ads, so nothing too concerning. You can either have all of you on one side and deal with them one side at a time. Doesn't matter. But I like the spot here because you can kind of head glitch the boss. When he summons his solar balls, again, you can just kind of go either inside or make sure they can't hit you. You can shoot them if you wanted to, obviously. Just easier to make sure. Go behind the wall. Now when we hit the first third, we're going to get him summoning the shield in the middle there. We're going to get a couple of champions on each side, unstoppables. I come out of those doors there. So one on each side. Again, if you want to, you can deal with them both at the same time. Like, you full team here and then swap sides, up to you. The other thing that's happening is the boss is going to be summoning these solar balls. Now, there's about 14 from memory waves of this before he stops. So if you wanted, you could just wait out all the solar balls. You can go stand over here and all of them will just kind of hit the wall. If I just stand here, you'll see the balls come this way and then just hit the wall. So waiting is a little boring, obviously, but very safe if that's what you're trying to do. Just get a clear. The alternate strat is obviously just run in and try and break. You can use things like Anarchy to break that. Also, if you have Skyburner's Oath but don't put on Barrier Scout Rifle, you can actually shoot straight through that shield and break it without even going inside. Again, I do like being down this side. He does get a bit more aggressive this time and come close, but he still stays in the middle. Another hint I should have talked about is his crit spot. His back does take more damage than his head, and also if you shoot just between the two kind of wings above his head, it actually counts as the same crit as his back, so slightly more damage up there if you're using like linears or something. As soon as we get him to the next third, he's going to jump up top and summon his dome again. I'll show you where the new safe spot to stand is. We're going to get unstop on the left and right as well. There's kind of two places you could stand. If you go all the way down there, the balls won't reach you. The other option is you can just kind of stay inside the dome as well, because they can't get us in here. You just have to deal with the champs. So whenever he summons the balls, I can just stand in here. And this won't turn on anymore. Because while he's above, the oven doesn't turn on. The reason that one came in is because I was sitting outside, so it curled around. If I just stay in the middle here, all of them will just hit the ground. I can actually make it safe for my team as well. If I do that, then they don't have to worry about the balls coming after them, because I'll all track the closest person, which is me, straight underneath. Right, so they killed both champs. And break that. Now the oven will turn back on now, so I do have to be careful. And the boss goes a lot more aggressive now. He will actually push quite up close, like you see, would have jumped down there. You do have to be careful of that. Again, when he summons the balls, you can either shoot them, or I like to just play around this middle thing here. You can kind of like use the tunnel, use the sides, and as he chases you, you can kind of like swap sides. Like here I can kind of use the middle to like make all the balls track in. Yeah, weapon for this week is the Shadow Price Adept with the new rolls. And don't forget we have guides for all the GMs as they come out. So don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you all for the next one. Bye! Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe for more. Special thanks to our channel members City, Burnt Toast, Chitty Finn, Hob, Badger, Jakey, Reops, Ferwin, Whiskey, Spec, Sam and Cozy for their continued support.